For some reason, he used characters for Zhu Yang that meant tremendous masculinity. Tremendous masculinity? Oh my god, wait. Shut the fuck up! What the fuck are y'all praying for? What? Shut the fuck up, bitch! Shut the fuck up! Hi everyone! My name is Ulysses N. Owen. You can call me Owen, and I am a BL author. Today, we are finally diving in to Heaven Officials Blessing Volume 1. I'm so excited, you guys. It's been so freaking long, and you guys don't know this, but I've been having technical difficulties this past hour. My mouse stopped working, the webcam stopped working, literally my computer started glitching. I don't know why the universe doesn't want me to react to the novel. I don't know, but I'm just trying my best. I just want to read about these lovely men who love each other. That's all I want. The universe can't give me that. Why? Anyways, I am going to be reading from this particular book, Volume 1, that I bought a while ago, and I have not really taken a good look at it, but you guys look. Oh my god! I went into the store and I saw this and I was like, how can a person walk by this and not buy it? It's so freaking beautiful. How the... Look at that! That is adorable. What the... Domestic bliss, bitch. I'm so soft for these men, I swear to God. Okay, how many chapters are there? There are 11. 355 pages! Anyways, this cover is beautiful. Cover and illustration by you. Interior illustrations by Zelda CW. You guys did a lovely job. Written by you! The cause of my anxiety and stress! You! I'm just kidding. I love you very much. Please continue to write. I praise you. I will do literally anything for you. Look at you guys. Look at. Hallelujah. Okay, this. Guess who signed this? You guys already know. James Cheek and Howard Wang signed my book! I still can't believe that happened. I still can't believe that happened. Look at this! I cannot wait until the day that I get a book signed by Jacob. I still want that! I still want a book signed by Jacob! I swear to God. Okay, I'm like distracting myself from reading this because I know how I'm going to act. Okay, shall we get started? Among all the deities of heaven, there was one famous laughingstock of the three realms. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I'm very sorry if I don't pronounce things correctly. I've tried to look up, ways to pronounce certain words. I'm just so not good at this. There were 4 treasures within it: abundant and handsome beauties, vibrant music and marvelous literature, gold and gems, and their one infamous crown prince. What would be the best way to describe this crown prince? Well, he was a unique man. He was beloved by the king and the queen, and they doted upon him exorbitantly. They would often say with pride, "My son will become a great ruler in the future, and his good name will echo down through history." However, the crown prince was not interested in imperial power or wealth in the mortal world at all. What he was interested in his own words, was, "I want to save the common people." When he was young, the crown prince focused solely on his cultivation, and there were 2 short tales that were widely spread of his time on that path. This is cute. This is cute. Okay. Although the custom of conducting these divine ceremonies has been out of fashion for centuries, it is still possible to deduce what a grand and jubilant occasion it must have been from a remnants of ancient books and oral tradition. The wondrous Shangyuan festival upon the grand avenue of divine might. Seas of people gathered on either side of the grand street, with royals and nobles talking and laughing in merriment, atop the high platforms. The glorious royal warriors bedecked in armor opened the paths, while maidens danced elegantly, their fair hands scattering flowers. From within the golden carriage came marvelous music that drifted across the entire imperial city. and at the rear of the procession was a grand stage pulled by 16 white horses in gold bridles. Upon this towering grand stage stood the God-pleasing warrior, the focus of everyone's attention. At the heavenly ceremonial procession, the God-pleasing warrior wore a gold mask. There's our boy! There's our boy! Okay. At the time, the martial god upon the grand stage was just about to strike the demon down. It was the climax of the performance, with people on both sides of the street at the height of excitement. The top of the city wall was swarmed with crowds, clamoring to watch the show, pushing and shoving each other to get the best view. At that moment, a small child fell from the edge of the wall. The screams of the crowd reached to the heavens. Just when everyone thought this child would stain the grand avenue of divine might with blood, the crowned prince looked up, leapt into flight, and caught the boy. The people It's too early to cry. Wait. The people only saw a glimpse of a white silhouette that flew like a soaring bird before the crowned prince landed with that small child in his arms. The golden mask fell, revealing the young, handsome face behind it. In the next second, cheers erupted. The people were thrilled and joyous, but the state preceptors of the Royal Cultivation Hall were troubled. They had never imagined such a huge mishap would occur. The state preceptors were so distraught. They were losing hair as fast as the rain fell. After much contemplation, they called the crown prince over to speak to him. In the softest manner possible, they requested, "Your Highness, might you be willing to face the wall in reflection for a month? It does not really need to be a month as long as the intention is there." The crown prince smiled. No. This was what he said. "There's nothing wrong with saving people. Why would the heavens condemn me for doing the right thing?" But what if the heavens do condemn you? "Then it is the heavens who are wrong. Why would I apologize to those who are wrong?" The state preceptors could not argue. This crowned prince was such a person. He had never encountered anything he could not do, nor had he ever met anyone who did not love him. I love you, bae. Okay. This is how I am when I read books. I literally talk to them. I'm like, yes, bae, I know. I am quite intolerable, but here we go. He was the justice of the mortal realm, the center of the world. Although the state preceptors were frustrated, what the heck do you know? It was not their place to say much, and they did not dare say more on the subject either. His Highness would not have listened anyway. So cute. The second tale takes place in the same year, when the crown prince was 17. Legend has it, south of the Yellow River, there was a bridge called Yinian? Means one thought or fleeting thought. This is also the first half of the idiom, wrong decision made in a moment of weakness. Upon this bridge was a ghost that had been lingering for years. This ghost was exceedingly fearsome. It was clad in broken armor. The flames of hell blazed beneath its feet, and its body was covered in blood and pierced by all manner of sharp weapons. Every step it took, it left behind a footprint of blood and fire. That's what I want to be. After the ghost vanished, the crown prince planted a flowering tree at the head of the bridge. As he did so, a cultivator passed by and happened to see him sprinkle a handful of dirt to consecrate the grave and send the ghost off. "What is this?" he asked. And thus the crown prince replied with his now famous line, "Body in the abyss, heart in paradise." When the cultivator heard this, he gave a light smile. He then transformed into a divine warrior clad in white armor, with auspicious clouds beneath his feet. Then he drew in the wind and rode off in holy light. Only then did the crown prince realize that he had just encountered the heavenly emperor, who had personally descended to the mortal realm to subdue evil. I love how this is told as it starts off very fairy tale. Is this in? Oh my gosh, it's already 9:39. What? There would never be a good outcome when gods descended to the mortal realm without permission. And so, not only were the flames of war not extinguished, they blazed even wilder. It was not to say that the crown prince did not try, but it would have been better had he not intervened at all. Okay, I'm slowly understanding the lore now. Hold on. The wounded and casualties innumerable, and in the end, a plague swept through the entire imperial capital, and the rebel army broke through to the palace and ended the war. So that's how we're gonna start. That's how we're gonna start. Why are you guys doing this to me? Why are you guys making me hurt? Why are you making me read this? Why? After the kingdom fell, the people finally came to realize one thing. The crown prince they worshipped as a god was never as perfect or strong as they imagined. To speak harshly, was he not just... Yeah, I'm not gonna say that about... I'm not gonna... Okay, you guys can read that, right? I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that out loud. I'm not gonna say anything bad about my boy. That awe-inspiring impression at the Grand Avenue of Divine Might, the evil he met at Yinyan Bridge, it all seemed as if it were only yesterday, and the heavenly realm merely sighed for a while before letting go of what was past. Until one day, many years later, a huge rumble thundered from the sky. This royal highness ascended for the second time. Throughout history, heavenly officials who were banished either never regained their glory or fell into the ghost realm. It was rare to turn over a new leaf after banishment. This second ascension was truly grand and spectacular. What was even more spectacular was that, after he ascended, he charged all the way into the heavenly realm and rampaged in full fury. Thus, he had only been ascended for the span of one incense time before he was knocked back down again. Wait, what? One incense time. It could be considered the swiftest and shortest ascension in history. Hold on. Okay, if the first ascension could be considered a beautiful tale, then the second ascension was a farce. No one would be able to get back up after being banished twice. I know someone who can! Okay. Many more years passed, and my brother and I discovered the new avatar, an airbender named Aang, and although his airbending skills were... Okay. Different story! Suddenly, one day, there was another huge rumble in the sky. The heavens fell and the earth cracked, the ground trembled and the mountains shook. The lanterns of everlasting light shuddered, the firelights danced in fury, and all the heavenly officials inside their golden palaces jolted awake, every one of them running out to ask each other, which new dignitary has ascended? Such a grandiose entrance. Yet who knew? They had exclaimed in wonder the first second, but in the next, all the deities of heaven were thunderstruck. Weren't you done? That infamous weirdo, the laughingstock of the three realms, the legendary royal highness, the crown prince, he fucking ascended again! He fucking ascended again, bitch! I fucking love that shit. Look at that. Even I have never written something like this. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Congratulations, your highness. Hearing this, Xielian looked up, and he smiled before saying anything. Thank you, but can I ask what you're congratulating me for? Bitch, you're fucking adorable! The cuteness aggression is real. You barely read the fucking first page, Owen. Calm the fuck down. Okay, everyone. It is day 2 of Heaven Official's Blessing, Volume 1, Chapter 1. I just read the prologue and then I had to stop. So we're gonna be... Hallelujah. We're gonna be reading Chapter 1. I really want to get to... I don't want to look... but I want to take... There. The ghost takes a... I want to get to that. Ling Wen Zhenjun stood tall with her hands folded behind her back. Congratulations. You have won first place on the chart of heavenly official most hoped to be banished down to the mortal realm of this calendar cycle. Why you gotta do that to my boy? Why are you doing this to him? Well, no matter what, first place is first place. Xielian said, but since you're congratulating me, is there anything that's actually worth being happy about? Oh, bro. That hit too close to home. Yes, Ling Wen replied. First place on this chart receives 100 merits. Xielian immediately said, if there are any similar charts in the future, please absolutely call me up. Do you know who second place is? Ling Wen asked. Xielian pondered for a moment, then replied, that's too hard to guess. After all, in terms of ability, I should be able to take the first 3 places myself. Pretty much, Ling Wen said. There isn't a second place. You're so far ahead that you've left everyone in the dust. What is this? What is this burn contest? What? Why are you doing this to my boy? He's just trying to live. He's just trying to live. That's too great of an honor, Xielian replied. Then who was first place for the previous calendar cycle? There is no previous winner, Ling Wen said. Because this chart was first established today. Huh? Xielian was taken aback. You don't mean to say that this was a chart set up just for me? Ling Wen replied. You can think of it as, you just so happened to make it in time and just so happened to steal first place. Okay. Xielian grinned, his eyes squinting into crescents. Alright, I'll be happier if I think of it that way. Do you know why you got first place? Ling Wen continued. By popular demand, Xielian guessed. I love him in the book so much too. Let me explain the reason to you, Ling Wen said. Please look at that bell. Xielian turned his head to gaze toward where she pointed, and what he saw was an extremely beautiful sight. There was a grand palace temple made of white jade, abundant towers, pavilions, and gazebos, with heavenly clouds lingering about as streams flowed and birds danced. He took a good look for a while, then asked, Did you perhaps point in the wrong direction? There's no bell anywhere. I didn't, Ling Wen said. It's right there. Don't you see it? There used to be a bell there, but when you ascended, it fell because of the tremors. The single ... I love that. That bell is older than you, but it has a spirited character and enjoys a good spectacle. Whenever someone ascends, it tolls a few times in applause. When you ascended, the tremors were so strong that the bell tolled like mad and couldn't stop at all. In the end, it shook itself off the bell tower before it finally ceased. And when it fell, it crashed down onto one of the heavenly officials passing by. Just casually, a bell falling? A bell falling. Is everything better now? Xielian inquired. Not yet. It's still under repairs, Ling Wen replied. I meant that heavenly official who was hurt. Xielian clarified. The one it hit was a martial god, Ling Wen said. As if that would make it any lighter. No. A flick of his hand and the bell was chopped into right then and there. Now please look over at the Golden Palace. Do you see it? Again, Xielian looked to where she was pointing and saw amidst the haze of clouds the resplendent golden glazed roof. Ah, this time I see it. It's not right if you see it, Ling Wen said. There wasn't anything there before. ... When you ascended, the golden pillars of the golden palaces of a number of heavenly officials collapsed from the tremors, and their glazed roof tiles shattered. There are some that won't be so easily fixed, so the heavenly officials could only put together some last-minute palaces to make do for the time being. And I'm the one responsible? You're the one responsible. Xielian asked to confirm. So I've offended many heavenly officials since the moment I arrived. If you can make amends, maybe not, Ling Wen said. How do I make amends? Easy. With 8,880,000 merits. I mean, that kind of sounds like the amount I owe in school debt, honestly. Ling Wen added, of course, I know you don't even have a tenth of that amount. Me too. I don't have anything. The faith of mortal believers was converted into the spiritual power of a heavenly official. Every stick of incense they lit and every offering they gave were thus called merits. Oh, I should have like a highlighter or something to like highlight certain terms, but I don't want to ruin the book. It's so pretty. Xielian turned solemn in place of the smile and asked seriously, are you willing to kick me down from here and give me 8,880,000 merits for it? Shit. I never thought of doing that. If this were 800 years ago, when the palace of Xianle was at its peak of prominence, 8,880,000 merits would be nothing. the crown prince could throw it out without batting an eye. I have 8,880,000 bells in Animal Crossing. You can take that. The heavenly officials of the upper court had gotten together and set up an array that could instantaneously allow the consciousness to communicate and pass on messages. Oh, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. Okay. Throughout this whole reading, I'm just going to be like, oh, that's what it means. The moment he entered, he was blasted by an outpouring of crazed yelling from all directions. Place your bets and no takebacks. Let's wager on how long our Royal Highness the Crown Prince can last before going down again. I bet 1 year. 1 year is too long. Last time it was only 1 incense time. It'll be 3 days this time, I think. I put my merits down on 3 days. 3 days! Don't, you dimwit! 3 days is almost over already. Do you even know how to gamble? Xielian silently exited the array. After he exited that array, he went on another random search and entered a different one. This time, he relaxed, thinking to himself, how quiet. It's probably this one. Just then, he heard a voice say softly, so, your highness is back. It was a very comfortable voice, the sound soft and gentle, the tone decorous. However, if one were to listen closely, one would discover that the voice was quite cool and indifferent, the same as the sentiment it carried, causing that soft gentleness to turn into something more malicious in intent. Suddenly, Xielian heard a private message from Ling Wen. She only said one word, bell. Instantly, Xielian understood. So this was the martial god who was hit by the bell. From the other end, Ling Wen sent him another message. Your Highness, although I think you should have recognized him after talking for so long, I still want to give you a hint. That's... Shua... Okay, now it's time to go to the back of the book and figure out how to pronounce these names, because damn. This is why we have alcohol. This is why... For clarity. His name in the human world was considerably distinguished, and this general's real name was Mu Qing. 800 years ago, he was a deputy general at the Xianle Palace of the Crown Prince. Ah, there he is! There he is, that boy! Mu Qing came from the slums, and his father was an executed criminal. Oh, what? Someone like that didn't qualify for acceptance to the royal holy temple, so he could only run errands. Within the temple grounds, he was someone who cleaned the royal highness's room and served tea and water. Oh my god, that's really... We didn't see that in the show, right? I didn't know that about him. Oh my gosh. It was only by the golden mouth of the royal highness that Mu Qing could enter the temple to cultivate and be trained alongside the crown prince. Then, after ascension, Xielian appointed him his general and took him along to the heavenly capital. That's my grumpy boy! Oh my god! Okay, I love grumpy kings, they're so cute. For someone like Xielian, everything besides death really was okay. He didn't have a lot, and certainly not shame. He had done much more awkward things, so he genuinely felt that this was okay. Me too. I've got no shame anymore. I've got no sense. No sense at all. He only just said it's okay when a voice roared angrily. Who the knocked down my golden palace? Show yourself! Before Xielian had opened his mouth, Mu Qing spoke up first. Or rather, he only snorted, Okay. Enough memes.
Are you sure
Enough.
about that?
The newcomer spat coldly. You knocked it down? Good. Just you wait. Mu Qing replied coolly. I didn't say it was me. Don't make false accusations. The other said angrily, Then what are you laughing about? Are you out of your mind? No reason. You just sound funny. That's all, Mu Qing said.
This is a love story.
Feng Xin. Oh my god. Wait. That is so cute. Okay. Feng Xin was loyal to a fault, and he had been Xielian's imperial bodyguard since the crown prince was 14 years old. Oh my god. He grew up with Xielian. They entered the heavens together, were banished together, and drifted together. Unfortunately, they couldn't endure all 800 years together. In the end, it was an unhappy separation as each went their own way, never to meet again. This is a bros for life situation. Man, they're starting off strong. They're starting off strong with my poor boy. How did he so coincidentally hit Mu Qing and wreck Feng Xin's palace? From any bystander's perspective, this was practically intentional revenge. Aw, dude, no! That sucks! The next day, Ling Wen invited him to the palace of Ling Wen. Ling Wen was a heavenly official who managed the affairs of celestial personnel and controlled the smooth sailing and rapid career promotion of humans. Oh really? Should I make like an offering to Ling Wen? Because I would love a promotion. Also, this is the heavenly official that always looks tired, man. Always looking tired. Relatable. Pause! I had to adjust my mic. Just as the words were spoken, Mu Qing's voice popped up airily. I hear the Heavenly Emperor is not in the north at the moment, so this is probably a call for assistance from His Highness the Crown Prince. Am I right? Xianlian thought to himself, are you just lurking inside the communication array at all times of the day? Are you just lurking, sir? Is that okay? Ling Wen thought the exact same thing and dearly wanted to slap Mu Qing out of the array for obstructing her work, but still she smiled outwardly. How come I keep seeing you inside the array these days? Seems like you've got free time on your hands lately. Congratulations. Oh my god! Girl! He gazed toward the main street and saw a group of men and women, both young and old, escorting a bright red marriage sedan as it passed by. A marriage sedan? The air surrounding this procession was downright odd. At first glance, it seemed like a marriage procession, but upon closer look... Aw, look! There's our boy. The butterfly! Bitch! Wait! Okay, it took me a second to process that there was a butterfly right there. Wait. Just as he was about to take out the scroll Ling Wen had given him to read it over once more, he suddenly sensed something dazzling flip by. Okay, we need a drink. Hold on. Oh my god. I'm gonna need to get another glass if we reach Watcha. Wait. I might cry. Okay, wait. That silver butterfly was glittering and translucent, and as it fluttered through the air, it left a sparkling bright trail in its wake. Xianlian reached out toward it in spite of himself. This silver butterfly was incredibly intelligent. Instead of being alarmed by the movement, it stopped on the tip of his finger. Its wings shimmered, beautiful and serene, and beneath the sunlight, it felt like the illusion of a dream that would shatter with a single touch. A moment later, it flew away. Oh, Dad. Wait, I need a moment. Like, this is so important. Xianlian waved at it as a farewell, and when he turned his head back around, there were 2 more people sitting at his table. There were 4 sides to this table, and those 2 each took a side, one left, one right. They were both young men of 18 or 19 years of age. The one on the left side was taller, with deep brows and handsome features, and his eyes carried a sort of unbridled wildness. The one on the right was extremely fair, elegant, and poised. His expression was a bit overly distant and cold, making him look as if he was extremely displeased. Actually, neither of them looked pleasant. Xianlian blinked. You 2 are? Dude, we know who you are! Stop lying! Stop lying, you 2! Nanfeng, Xilian, Mu Qing, Qirong. I was right! It's Nanfeng! I'm probably completely wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. Well, this was certainly horrifying. Xianlian gulped down his mouthful of tea. Did your generals tell you to come? The 2 answered in unison. My general didn't know I was coming. Xianlian pondered for a moment before asking again, then, do you know who I am? If these 2 junior martial officials had come in blind because of Ling Wen's deception and helped him, then they would get scolded by their own generals upon their return. It wouldn't be worth it. It wasn't a secret that they didn't get along. You don't know how much my heart soars when some people say that they hate each other, and I'm just like, listen, man, I'm not here for the negativity. I'm here for the, I think you kind of like this person. You know, I think that they're in love, you know? But then again, I don't know these two well, so we're just gonna have to see. This was also why the two heavenly officials, folk believers in the southeast and southwest, regarded each other with contempt. What? It stretches that far, bitch? Are you kidding me? Chapter 2. 3 Clowns, Night Discussion on the Palace of Tremendous Masculinity. Oh god. On the side, Fu Yao gave a light smirk. Yes, he's deeply loved. Xielian said, but I just have a quick question that I don't know if you're going to say you don't know if it's appropriate, then don't say anything. Nanfeng interrupted. No, I was going to say, don't know if anyone has the answer, Xielian thought. But he had a feeling that it'd be bad if he said it, so in the end, he decided to change the subject again. Yet unexpectedly, Fu Yao languidly said, I know what you want to ask. You must be wondering why there are so many female believers coming to worship. What? Pardon me? That was indeed the question Xielian had in mind. There had always been fewer female believers than male in the martial god stream. Only Xielian himself was an exception 800 years ago. However, the reason for this exception was very simple, and it was only 2 words. What? However, the reason for this exception was very simple, and it was only 2 words. Good looking. I mean, I too would. Yeah, you know, okay. I believe it. I believe it. I've seen it. He's good looking. He is. I love how this thing right here says 3 clowns. Like, okay. Nanfeng and Fu Yao felt the space beside their bodies empty suddenly. Xielian had already taken form and jumped. The lamplight inside the temple was dim, and a small gust rose from his leap, causing the firelight to flicker. The girl, Xiao Ying, only saw a blur before a man suddenly emerged from the darkness, reaching out to her with his upper body bare, and she was scared out of her wits right then and there. As expected, she screamed. When Xielian was about to speak, the girl's slap already struck out in a flash, and she yelled, "Harassment!" The whack! And Xielian was slapped just like that. Oh my gosh. The slap was clear and crisp, and the two crouching on top of the altar both felt the side of their faces twitch at the same time. What are these 3 clowns doing, man? Xielian wasn't mad at the strike, however, and only forcefully stuffed the outer robe into her arms, swiftly whispering something. The girl was greatly alarmed, felt behind her, and suddenly flushed red in the face. Tears welled up in her eyes. Who knew whether it was anger or indignation? She clutched the outer robe Xielian gave her and dashed out covering her face, leaving Xielian standing there, half bare. Wait, I just realized, I was like, wait! Does the webcomic, does the comic show this bare Xielian? Don't answer, please! Okay, I shouldn't be encouraged. After undressing, what was revealed was a body smooth and fair like jade, except his chest was heavily wrapped in layer after layer of white cloth, firmly bound. Oh, even his neck and wrists were wrapped in bandages. Innumerable small cuts crawled out from the edges of the white bandages. It's truly a startling sight. What? Xielian looked at them blankly. I fell on my own. ... Those were indeed the injuries from when he tumbled down from heaven 3 days ago. If it were from a fight with another person, then he actually might have not been hurt so badly. Bae, please! The next second, Nanfeng and Fu Yao's gazes hardened as their eyes fell on his throat. A black collar encircled his snow-white neck. What? What? Sensing their stare, Xielian gave a light smile and turned around. First time seeing a real cursed shackle. What? Wait, was I supposed to know this? Did the show say this? Am I not paying attention? I'm not paying attention. It was a shackle formed by a particular curse. Heavenly officials who were banished from heaven would have the mark of sin. forged by the wrath of heaven, branded onto their bodies. This brand formed a fetter that sealed spiritual powers away, never to be freed. Oh. Just like a brand on the face or chains shackling hands and feet, this was a form of punishment and a warning. It was both terrifying and humiliating. Oh, I see.
Write that down, write that down!
Feng Xin was called Zhu Yang Shenzhen. The man himself deeply detested this title, and everyone only had one word for his experience: injustice. The original correct writing used the characters Zhu Yang, which meant perfect sun. The incident that warped them happened many years ago. Wait. The incident that warped them happened many years ago. During that time, a king was constructing a great number of temples and palaces. To demonstrate his faith and sincerity, he personally drafted the titles for every temple or palace's establishment plaque. But when it came to the palace of Zhu Yang, for some reason he used characters for Zhu Yang that meant tremendous masculinity. Tremendous masculinity? In any case, every palace of perfect sun in the country became a palace of tremendous masculinity overnight. Oh my god, wait. Feng Xin, whose divine title changed so randomly, didn't find this out until decades later. He basically had never bothered to look closely at the signs of his own temples, but one day he suddenly felt rather baffled. Why were there so many women coming to pray in his temples, each of them flushed with shyness on her cheeks? What? Wait! And what in the world were they praying for when offering incense? Shut the fuck up! What the fuck are y'all praying for? What? It wasn't like he could pick on those women who were praying so sincerely, so he forced himself to listen for many years. It wasn't until a decent ruler came along who thought tremendous masculinity was horribly obscene that it was changed to Nanyang for Southern Sun. That's not fun, no! Nonetheless, no one forgot what else he could grant beyond his duties as a martial god. Never forget. Nanfeng's face was already as dark as the bottom of an aged wok, yet Fu Yao was suddenly feeling poetic and he recited demurely, "Friend of woman, a trusty companion, ask for a son. Most powerful is he, the secret formula to bolster masculinity. A son in your prayers, Nanyang delivers." Oh my god. This is why this chapter is called Three Clowns. One of the sedan carriers wasn't paying attention and stepped on an arm. He screamed without thinking, and then immediately the entire wedding procession was in an uproar. Good lord, that band of men whipped out their shining broadswords. They yelled, "What's the matter? Has it come?" The commotion had broken out in the street. When Xiaolian looked closely, the body with its head severed wasn't a real person, but a wooden puppet. Too ugly, Fu Yao commented again. This guy always has shit to say. Knowing the men were attempting to disguise the puppet as the bride, Fu Yao commented in disgust. If I were the ghost groom, I'd wipe out this entire troop for sending such an ugly thing to me. Fu Yao, you're not speaking as an immortal should, Xiaolian said. And can you fix that eye-rolling habit of yours? Why don't you set a small target for yourself first and roll only 5 times a day or something like that? He's so patient. He's literally talking to him like he's a child. Xiaolian tucked his hands in his sleeves, not bothering to look back. He grinned happily. You can hear my dog. My dog wants to say hi. He grinned happily at Xiao Ying, but bending slightly at the waist to meet her eyes. Miss, I was wondering if I might have the pleasure of inviting you inside for a cup of... When will that be me? When will that be me? Then we can't cast a camouflage spell on puppets for the wedding procession. And we... Oh my god, look! Look, he's so cute! Why are they looking like that? I love this, okay? He looked so beautiful wearing this. Xiaolian emerged from behind the back of the temple with his hair down and flowing, looking disheveled. The two standing guard by the temple entrance looked, and Nanfeng swore, "Fuck!" right on the spot before charging out. What the fuck? Dude. Xiaolian was speechless for a moment, then said, "Was that necessary?" What? It's perfectly fine, you guys. Just let him wear it. You're so dramatic. Xianlian saw Fu. I'm talking to the fictional characters like they can actually hear me. Fu Yao said, I think, why don't you go ask the communication array now to see if there is any heavenly official who is willing to teach you transformation magic. Transformation magic? Like, does anyone else I know use transformation magic to turn into a woman?
Yes.
Anyone? Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop bringing up Windmaster in every situation. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, look it. There certainly were several heavenly officials who, on account of their own unique needs, knew transformation magic. Wink, wink. A woman's form was much daintier. After he put on the dress while the waist was surprisingly just fine, he was severely restricted in raising his arms and lifting his feet. They really said Xianlian got that snatched waist. Oh my gosh. Outside, Fu Yao said coolly, What's the matter, miss? Tears of joy at finally marrying at your old age? Why you gotta say stuff like that? Indeed, when a bride left home for the first time, many teared up and wept in the bridal sedan. Xianlian didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but when he spoke, his voice was calm and natural, revealing nothing of the discomfort from the bumpy ride. No, it's just, I suddenly realized that this wedding procession is missing something very important. Missing what? Nanfeng asked. We've prepared all that we need. Xianlian smiled. 2 accompanying maids. ... The two outside exchanged a look, then they both shuddered violently, seeming to have imagined something. When the sedan carrying military officers heard all this gag, they couldn't help but chuckle. With this, the displeasure did indeed disperse quite a bit, and a bit more camaraderie developed, making the sedan much steadier. Thus, Xianlian leaned back into a proper sitting position and closed his eyes to rest his mind. Unexpectedly, not long after, a child's laughter abruptly sounded by his ears. Okay, but like hearing a child's laughter come from out of nowhere, I would be scared. Xianlian listened carefully to that child's voice, then repeated verse by verse, a pause after each one. New bride, new bride, new bride in the red bridal sedan. Ooh, that's creepy! That's creepy. Just as he spoke, the body of the sedan abruptly dipped. There was suddenly a commotion outside among the 8 military officers, and the bridal sedan came to a complete stop. Oh shit. However, the good part was yet to come. What followed closely behind the wolves was the sound of rustling and crackling, a series of odd noises that sounded like beasts but not quite, and like humans but not. A military officer exclaimed in alarm. What's that? What is that thing? Oh my god!
Yeah.
What is
that?
Nanfeng also cursed. Xianlian knew something unexpected. That something unexpected had happened and tried to stand. It had actually climbed into the sedan. That creature crashed headfirst through the sedan door but was then forcefully dragged out by the man outside. Nanfeng swore in front of the sedan. Fuck! It's a Binu? Binu? Xianlian knew this was going to be downright troublesome the moment he heard it was a Binu. Sure enough, after they left the bridal sedan, while that pack of wolves and Binu were still pestering them, there weren't any new waves joining the fray. The two each escorted 4 military officers, and on the way, Fu Yao fought as he spat hatefully. I can't believe this. If I wasn't... He stopped mid-speech. The two met eyes, and the look was odd. Fu Yao swallowed his words and turned his head away, both temporarily stopping and not bringing it up. Excuse me, what? What were you gonna say? All of a sudden, everything fell quiet. The sound of wind, the sound of the sea of trees, the howling and roaring of demonic creatures, all sank into a deadly silence in an instant, as if they were afraid of something. And then, he heard a very soft chuckle. It sounded like a man, but also a youth. Xianlian sat poised and quiet.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Stay calm!
Shut the fuck up, bitch! Shut the fuck up! That's my boy. The silk band was quietly encircling his hand, ready to strike at a moment's notice. If whoever had come showed a trace of killing aura, it would instantly, wildly strike back with 10 times the power. Yet unexpectedly, what came wasn't the anticipated attack or any murderous intent, but something else. Don't talk to me, don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't breathe near me. Don't. I can't. The curtain of the bridal stand was lightly lifted, and from underneath a bright red veil, Xianlian saw the person had extended a hand to... Bitch, I can't do this! Bitch, wait, I can't do this. I really can't. Wait, I need a drink, wait. The fingers were well defined. A red string was tied on the third finger. And on that long, slender, fair hand, it looked like a bright and colorful affinity knot. I think it's too early to cry, but I want to. A moment later, as if something had taken control of him, Xielian reached out. He rose to his feet, ready to push aside the curtain to descend the sedan. But the man had already moved first, lifting the red curtain for him. This man who had come grasped his hand, but didn't squeeze too hard, as if he was afraid of hurting him. No matter how high on his guard Xielian was to be treated this way, he couldn't help but think, if he was a real groom, then he'd genuinely be a most gentle and considerate one. You know what? It was a good read along, you guys. It was a good read. No, but like for real, whenever a story has like any mention of like wedding, especially like wedding rings in any story for me is like another weakness of mine. I'm just, you tell me that two characters in a story have like a slow burn and they end up married in the end. I'm just like, I'm a fucking goner, dude. Just then, the youth's step paused. Xielian tensed, wondering if he was about to act. But the youth only stopped for a moment before continuing to guide Xielian along. After a couple of steps, suddenly there was pitter-patter from above, as if beads of raindrops were beating down on the surface of an umbrella. Turns out, that youth had opened an umbrella and raised it over both of their heads. Though it wasn't the time for it, Xielian couldn't help but praise inwardly that he really was quite thoughtful. But at the same time, he was also very curious. Is it raining? Everything about this situation was eerie to the extreme, but that youth held him in one hand and the umbrella in the other as he walked leisurely on, appearing for no reason to be bewitchingly romantic and deeply affectionate. Stop! Don't do this to me! The hand that had been holding his own in this entire way softly folded a corner of the veil and slowly lifted it upward. Xielian had been waiting for this moment the entire time. He stood still, watching as the clinging red curtain was slowly pulled up. Yet unexpectedly, when the silk band flew out and carried with it a blast of wind, that bright red veil left the youth's hand, fluttering up and then down, before Xielian had the chance to see the remnant shadow of that red-robed youth. Oh my gosh! The youth shattered into thousands of butterflies, scattering into a breeze of silver twinkling stars. After Xielian had backed a couple of steps away, he couldn't help but sigh in awe. This sight was truly as beautiful as a fantastic dream. He's comparing him to a dream! Just then, one silver butterfly errantly flew past his eyes. When he tried to look closer, however, that silver butterfly fluttered twice around him, before joining the whirl of butterflies, melting into a part of the silver that enveloped the sky as they fluttered their wings to fly into the night. That's so cute. That is so cute. Gazing at this heavily packed crowd before the temple of Mingguang, Xielian slowly said, "Then it must be one of these people." Mountain-locked ancient temple. Forest of hanging corpses. Okay, we're going to leave it off. We've read 3 chapters plus a prologue. Okay, so the next one, 67 pages, man. So next time, I think I'm going to read chapters 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do 7, 8, 9, and then the last 10 and 11. But, okay, closing thoughts. I really liked that in the book, we get a lot of like background information on Feng Xin and Mu Qing. I didn't know that about them, and I don't think the show really explained that much. I totally understand why I couldn't. So I'm really glad that I'm getting into the novels and learning more about these characters. When freaking Hua Qiang showed up and Xielian was talking about how much of a gentleman he was and how much of a great groom he was, bitch, I fucking lost it. I was like, excuse me? You're calling him a really good groom? Excuse me? But yeah, gosh, the way that they described like that entire scene though was like absolutely beautiful. Like the silver butterflies, forget about it, man. That was beautiful. Also, the illustrations are so pretty. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the book so far. I'm super excited to dive into it even more. I just wanted to apologize how long this took to come out because school has been kicking my butt. I'm taking quite intense courses this time around before summer vacation starts. But once summer vacation starts, I will go back to uploading regularly. I'll have a lot more time since I won't be doing any classes. I'm gonna want to start reading the books, and I also want to dive more into Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Literally, I find myself so frustrated that I can't do these things yet. But I have to be patient. Patience will get me what I want in the end. So I do apologize for taking too long. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I am also still trying to figure out if this rated 17 plus. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out if this setup is going to work or not. I'm not entirely sure if you guys like this setup or if I should maybe just read the online version of the book or continue buying physical copies. So just let me know what you guys think, and I will definitely consider your wonderful feedback. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to continuing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!